Yeah, lovely to chat to you, man. How are things going?
Everything's going great right now. Just anticipating the new album coming out. So can't wait for that.
Yeah, you must be stoked. I've heard that. I heard the album from start to end. It's a yeah, it's an incredible album, man. Like it's really it's punishing, but yeah, it's got a lot of elements in it. I really dig it.
That's awesome, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, we worked hard on it, man. We're stoked on it.
Yeah, you must. And I was going to say probably what is one of the big things because this is the first album with your vocals on it, isn't it?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so that's probably you must be kind of glad that's ticked off now because yeah you've been a member for quite a while now, so that's yeah finally to kind of
It's good to get off my shoulders. That's for sure.
oh,
Everything's leading up to this moment. So
and how was it's probably something you ask quite often. Obviously, Suffocation, a huge band of classic band that's influenced a lot of genres and a lot of people. And then that kind of transition. How was that stepping into it? Obviously, we know that Frank is one of the best vocalists in the genre of extreme metal. How is that for you? How is that transition?
transition's been okay. I do a lot of Frank stuff, so it helped me write this album. All of this old stuff I probably go into and stuff like that. But making the transition for us is it's been fine. I mean, in the end, as long as the band's happy and what we're doing and we believe in it, then we stay true to that.
Yeah. I think it's I mean, it's such a good fit. Was it the first? Because you've been in the band, I think it's a little bit over 3 years now. Is that correct? I think.
Well, I've actually been playing with them as a touring vocalist since 2014, and then I took a year. Yeah, I took a year off and came back. So I've been with them quite a long time.
Wow, and so the initial kind of, I suppose when you took over, was the initial live thing, was there any kind of not discomfort from you? Because it's said, I've watched the live footage.
Thank you.
It's a good fit. From the fan base, was it a little bit tricky at the start, or?
Oh yeah, I mean, especially me coming from playing drums.
Yeah,
I was a drummer, and then I came to the duo vocals, and it's totally different. Mostly now you have all eyes on you. So I was back there, no big deal. But it's been a transition for sure. But I feel comfortable now with it after the years.
Yeah, I suppose, but you would have got less drummer jokes because you know how the drummer always gets crucified.
Yeah, not no more. Yeah.
So you just touched on, obviously you're in Disgorge for a while, and you're a drummer. So how is that? I mean, I'm going to touch on in a minute how you kind of first got into music and that, but how did you change over from, like, basically how did you become a vocalist? Because you're a drummer and an accomplished drummer. I've heard your Disgorge stuff. It's really amazing, man. I dig it. It's really crushing. How did you go from that into was that your first kind of time you were doing vocals, or have you done vocals prior to that?
Well, I was doing pre-production for Disgorge. I was writing the vocal patterns and I'm doing my voice over it, and I just happened to come on the bus and let Suffocation hear it, and they're like, "Who's singing?" And I said, "Me." And they're like, "Really?" And then Derek's like, I walked him out to the car that night, and he's like, "If I give you a song, would you put vocals over a Suffocation song? Because we don't know how long Frank's going to be doing this for." And I blew him off. We're buzzed, drinking. I'm like, yeah, sure, send me the song. Yeah. But a couple of days later, they sent me a song, and I recorded over it, and I got the job.
Wow, that's unreal.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So then you had no choice then.
Yeah, I was like, well, then that's also Suffocation was one of my favorite bands growing up. I mean, Suffocation was the band that made me want to play drums. So for me to sing in the band is like surreal, very surreal for me. And that's an opportunity that I felt I couldn't pass up. I'm good friends with these guys. I love all of them. So I was like, it seemed like a good move for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's I've heard of the reputation of them. They're all like lovely people, and like you said, and I think the key thing about Suffocation, because a lot of bands, and I love bands like Cannibal Corpse and stuff like that as well. But really, I think one of the main elements is really just the vocals for me anyway. Whereas Suffocation really had it going on from, so many levels. Like you said, the drums are really strong.
Yeah.
Terrence's guitar work, Frank's vocal style for that, and the song structure and everything. They really, huge band. So that's really,
very, very, very well educated musicians. They know what they're doing. That is for sure.
And what I even love with that is I love with the new album. I love that because I think a lot of the problem with a lot of tech death metal is the songs just they go on too long. I think whereas I think particularly on this album, it's like a perfect length. You know what I mean? I think the longest song is not even 6 minutes, and it's just. But there's, like you said, they're amazing musicians. So you've got amazing guitar work in between, and everything is really it doesn't stay too long, which I think that's how death metal should be.
Yeah, and that way you don't get too bored. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like playing these long drawn out songs, and it seems like it gets boring. Yeah,
100%. And I mean, obviously that's that crosses over into the live front, which you guys are very much about. So I was going to say, so you got any particular favorite songs off the album? I know people haven't heard it yet, but it's very solid.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I like all of them. I mean, I like Hymns from the Apocrypha, which is the first song on it.
Yeah.
So the song we're about to release on October 5th, Perpetual Deception.
Yes. One of my favorites. That's good.
First was the Immortal Execration. Very heavy song on that one. So there's a lot of songs on there. They all got their own elements, they all got their own moments and stuff. But yeah, I really enjoyed fucking recording it and stuff. It was great.
Excellent. I also like I think it's Delusions of Morality as well. I like the I think the tempo. I mean, there's a lot of tempo changes across the album, but that it really slows it down, and then it kind of there's a solo, and then it goes for it, and then it slows it down again. So there's kind of something for everyone, but it's all very heavy.
Good. Thank you, man.
And were you happy with that video? Because that initial video was fantastic.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, man. It's like we gave Tom an idea, and he came up with this crazy world that we envisioned, and man, he knocked it out of the park, man. We're really happy with it.
Yeah, it's really good. I like it's futuristic dystopia and everything. It's it's got a bit of everything. It's it's super dynamic. Are you happy with the artwork too? Because it's a pretty phenomenal front cover. I mean, I know it's death metal's kind of sometimes always known for great art. From Seagrave and other artists that have done things. It's a wild cover, man.
Yeah, Giannis Nikos, he did really good, man. He's a phenomenal artist, and gave him the idea, let him know what the concept was and stuff, and he just came back with this artwork that it fit it perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely kind of fits in with the whole thing. And when you look at it, when I seen a small picture, when you look at it in, you kind of blow it up and look at it, there's quite a bit of detail, which is excellent.
Awesome.
And how do you and you think that fits in really well with the themes on the album? Is there any in kind of connection to that? Do you, with the creative process, you're writing the lyrics?
Yeah, I wrote all the lyrics and all the patterns. Yeah,
excellent. Yeah, it's great.
Thank you.
And how? So, like you said, you're kind of going to background about how you kind of were doing some stuff for the band initially, and then how has your kind of vocal style changed over that period? Have you, how has it, has it been hard for you, or like just, the whole thing's because there's obviously a lot of coming from you probably got stamina and that from being a drummer, but vocal stamina and timing and fatigue. How's that going?
Yeah, I had a hard time there in the beginning when we first started playing, and it's because I had no technique. I was just jumping in thinking I could sing, and then you realize real quick that you really need to get some kind of technique and stuff. So when the pandemic hit, I bought a bunch of recording equipment, and I started recording me and really getting my tone. Melissa Cross, I started doing her videos and stuff like that and stuff. And yeah, she helped me a lot. And yeah, I just practice and practice. And the end result, I'm pleased with right now. I can still grow. I got so much more I want to do. So it's just right now, I feel like I'm in a good place though.
Yeah, no. It certainly sounds it. I've seen the live stuff, and obviously, yeah, it's evidenced across the album. But yeah, it is funny because I've sung in a lot of like hardcore bands and that before, and then once I was in a death metal band, and then I sound like Tom Waits for like 2 weeks because simple things like singing Not From the Stomach and the breathing, the thing. It was just,
right.
Or you do a gig and you just be like, I'm gonna die. Like it's just, it's a
yeah, man. Yeah, we do like 30 shows almost straight, singing every night, and you like, yeah, you can't be you got to take care of yourself for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Now my next question I was going to ask, I did have it here. Yeah, how was what was your initial journey into music? How did you initially get into music? Obviously, what are your biggest roles were like the drummer in Disgorge, but how did you kind of transition into music? Like, how did you get into it initially?
Well, my family, my grandfather played guitar, and then my dad played guitar. So I played guitar first. So I played guitar, I played bass, and then I did the drums, and then I ended up doing vocals now.
Wow.
So I mean, I introduced it to my whole life. My whole family's musically inclined. So
yeah, so that's it. Yeah, it's kind of ingrained, isn't it? Really, and you've got to
Oh, yeah. Either I got artists in my family that can draw and paint, or it's something along those lines. But yeah, my dad was a musician, so it helped.
Wow, that's good. And because you said you're even you're writing the vocal patterns and that as well, aren't you? So that's because sometimes because there's a lot going on as well. I think that's particularly like a little bit like I was talking about Arc Spire before. Like it's just I think using vocals as an instrument, it's pretty incredible. Like it's just it's not just like an addition, it's in a background or right at the front. It's actually, and I've noticed, with this album, like your flow and the tempo, and it's very phenomenal.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I think a lot of vocalists now are doing that, like Arch Spire and bands like that, Whitechapel.
Yeah,
they're making the band, and it's flowing well, and you take notice of that. It's just not background noise in the back, So, and I always that treat it like an instrument, just don't be some part of the band, be within it,
100%. Yeah, no, that integration's a big thing. What are some of the highlights so far, like gigs you've played or particular venues or that? What stands out for you in terms of highlights so far?
I would say the festival. Some of these festivals are crazy. You got like Hellfest, Brutal Assault. Man, I love going over there for festival season in Europe. It's amazing.
Yeah, you never hear any bad things, and the footage is just unbelievable, and the amount of bands and the vibe, like it's your people there, you know what I mean? But it's on the
everybody's like fan stuff, and you get to see them, and it's really good time, man. I really enjoy the festival.
And you've got a good response from the festivals, like it's probably it's self-evident, really.
Yeah, it's been great, man. We've been doing good, So hopefully that fan base will build now because they've never been able to hear me on, they can only relate to me live. So now they have something to relate to on, this recorded.
Exactly.
So I'm hoping this will, help our fan base too.
100%. What's some of the favorite bands you've played with yourself? What do what is there any kind of particular standouts or personal faves for you?
You know what? I just had a blast with. We just did last year's tour with Death to All. And, and all those guys and Steve Giorgio. What a blast, man! That was. It's somebody that I looked up to a lot of those people when I was growing up and stuff. So yeah, that's a memorable tour for me.
Excellent. No, that's good. And I was going to say, so obviously now the tours, the album cycle, the tour cycle, that's what's coming up next. Is there any is there a big tour attached with that, or what's the?
Yeah, we got a week and a half in Mexico then after that, we come back and we toured the U.S. with Incantation, Stabbing, Skeletal Remains here in the U.S. That's a full tour. And then we head over to Europe with Enterprise Earth and Sengwa Sigabog.
I haven't heard of them, but they both of those names sound awesome. I haven't heard those dudes.
Really check them out, man. They're really brutal.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's never ending. Sometimes you come across things and then I'll jot it down and I was like, wow, like that's
so many bands now. There's so many bands to check out, man, and they're all just great. So it's pretty cool.
It is good. Is there any plans in the future of potentially coming down to our part of the world?
Yeah, I just filled out the paperwork the other day to come down there. So I imagine we're going to be there like March, April, somewhere around that time.
Wow, fantastic. Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah, that's what I just heard. So, yeah. Don't quote me exactly on those months, but it's somewhere.
No. I know. I'm not going to get you into trouble. No, that's so have you got any messages or kind of words of wisdom to the fans out there? There's obviously a lot of fans from across the ages and I think across the genres as well. I think it's like there's a lot of hardcore kids and thrash kids and everything that get into Suffocation. It's a pretty kind of a band that's appealing to a lot of genres. Yeah. So yeah. What do you
I would like to say that just go grab the album. I don't think it will disappoint you if you're a Suffocation fan. If you've never heard Suffocation, I hope you enjoy it.
Excellent. Yeah, no, that's look, man. It's a solid album. I think people will be pretty surprised. I know that I was, because it was really, like I said, I think that groove factor on it is good too. Groove as in not groove metal, but it's
right. Got a good flow.
The flow is good.
Yeah, we worked hard on it, man, and we're really proud of it. So we hope everybody enjoys it as much as we do.
Yeah, no. I think it'll rip people's heads off, which is what you want. That's what the band's about. Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, I said thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, brother.
Oh, no worries, man. And good luck with all those tours. I'm sure the album cycle will be great. And whatever month you guys come over next year, I look forward to it. Would love to have a chat face to face as well. So
absolutely. Yeah, when we come through, man.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, all the best, man. Thank you for your time.
All right, brother, man. You have a good one.
Take care, man. Thanks again.
All right,
cheers, brother.